Oh, hello. I don't really know if I want to do this. I know I went online earlier, kind of gave you guys a bit of an overview as to what we're seeing is we're breaking below that 20K for Bitcoin, breaking below that 1,000 for Ethereum. So a lot to cover off. And I just want to kind of give you, firstly, a bit of an understanding as to why this is happening, what we saw last week in the traditional markets that kind of has led to this. Also, I did cover earlier on the kind of the mass flow of money out of the DeFi space, but also we want to look at where are those levels. So we're going to look at those in a second. AJ, what's your kind of key takeaway today on this Saturday? Obviously, it's a weekend, but we're seeing so much sell-off. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, loads of people, there's so much fear in the market right now. People are, personally, they're doing the wrong thing by panic selling, their Bitcoin because, people like us, we are, sort of panic buying, if you would like to say, because we don't want to on these opportunities of the price being this low, because, I don't expect the price to be this low for much longer. Maybe over the next 6 to 12 months the price could slowly make its way back up, but I think these, as of right now, these are great buying opportunities. And as you can see on the screen right now, the fear and greed index is sitting at 6. When we see extreme fear in the market, it signals to us that we are getting closer and closer to that bottom. And the fact that we are down at all the way at 6 on the fear and greed index, it just signals to me that we are very, very close to that bottom. And I don't like seeing the price this low, but at the same time I sort of do, because it gives us these great buying opportunities. So I'm not complaining really. I'm just buying.
It's that time for kind of adding in, isn't it? And I think one of the key things that we need to see is now we're seeing Bitcoin in the major news outlets. I've come to investing.com. I've come to Bloomberg.com. So, these are the major news outlets that big institutional investors use. And one of the key things that we should use as like a bit of a metric is that whenever we see that Bitcoin is being covered at all-time high, it's on CNN, it's on Bloomberg, it's in Investing, it's on CNBC, all of these different news outlets. This is when usually smart investors start to take their money out, because you buy a stock or you buy whatever, an investment, but as soon as, your mum starts asking you about this particular coin or investment or stock or whatever, that's usually when you need to get out, if she's not involved in stocks or in investments, because, that's where kind of everybody, the hype is at the highest, and that's when you should get out. And I think now we're kind of seeing this is arguably a stage where we should be getting in while everyone is so fearful, because everyone's thinking, oh, well, I'll stay away from that, when it's at the bottom, but everyone says, I'm going to get into that when it's at the top. And that's the way I kind of see this. We see that NASDAQ currently up around 1.43. Obviously, we know that it is closed. We're very aware of that. So currently it is over the next couple of days. Bitcoin, obviously the market is still open. Just to give you an overview of what Bloomberg are saying is that obviously it's falling below 20,000 for the first time since 2020. And that is amid the DeFi crisis, which we all know about. Watch my video earlier for an update on Celsius and 3 Arrow Capital. But these are going through the largest market token, which is Bitcoin.
Just to add on to that quickly, Ben, this is actually the first time that we've actually broken below a previous cycle top. So we have broken below that 2017 all-time high. That's the first time we've ever done that.
That is actually very, very true indeed. Very true. Which, that is a very bearish signal, to be honest. It's either that or it's, hey, we're so low right now, this is a good time to be getting in. Whichever way you might take that. Personally, I'm taking it as I'm going to begin pricing myself in.
That's exactly what we're doing as well.
Exactly. And we will go through that in a second, guys. I want to show you, we have had a couple of our orders priced in, but we'll get to that in a second. So it tumbled more than 9% to 18,700, early morning in London on Saturday, marking a record-breaking 12 days straight in the red. Ether breached $1,000 and dropped almost 11% to 975. And obviously, this is as of the time of writing, which will give you up-to-date numbers. Although painful, removing the sector's froth is likely healthy as investors shift focus to projects with clear roadmaps to cash flow and profitability versus purely revenue growth. Hello, bloody 30%, 20% APY just for staking some stable coins. This is what I mean. So moving away from these projects, which arguably are too good to be true. Now, a toxic mix of bad news cycle and higher interest rates has been deleterious to riskier assets like crypto. That is I didn't expect them to whip out a fancy word like that. But they also noted broader signs of stress. Well, that's one way to put it. 3 Arrows Capital, Babel Finance, locking down, no withdrawals, and then also Celsius Network potentially also locking down withdrawals. But, these three kind of in talks, or people are talking about them as to whether they are actually going to be just going bust and not being able to hand out the investors' money, which obviously is very, very bad. And that gives that negative feeling across the whole industry. But where people did go, just to cover off, if for people who are interested in the wider market, it's generally dividend yielding stocks, so stocks that you're guaranteed to get a payout, i.e. just in the same way people love staking because they get a steady income, that's exactly where people are going with stocks. So looking at Oracle, Cisco, for example, it may not seem like much, which is, the small kind of advance for Oracle, 1% and 0.2% decline, may not seem like much, but in a week that saw the floor under the world's biggest technology stocks crumble, and this is most important, the S&P 500 enter into a bear market. The average downturn in a bear market, guys, is 37% over the past, I don't know how many years. I want to say the last 80 years. I'm sure. Ash, I've just seen your comment here. I do remember you. I also remember the last bear cycle. So keep that in mind. But just to go through the last, I believe it's data over the past 90, 80 years or so, every single bear market, the average is 35% for the S&P, and currently we're down around 25%. So we haven't seen, based on previous data, the full level of pain across the S&P and the traditional markets, which obviously is going to weigh on the crypto markets. But we have a much better technology now. We have much better mechanisms to actually collect more data and act on a better, higher level, as opposed to just regions trying to do their own little bit of, kind of functioning in EU versus UK versus America versus, all these different areas. So everyone working together, I think we will have less of an impact this time round. So kind of keep that in mind. I don't think we're going to see a 37% decrease for the traditional markets or for crypto. I think we are near a bottom personally.
Yeah.
That's just kind of my little 2 cents here. Unfortunately, it's still a little bit more downside. But AJ, what's your comments on kind of how much more downside we might see?
Yeah, well, as we know, my target, if I just show my screen here, my target is actually at around $15,000, $400 roughly. And that's because this CVDD, which is a pink line here, I've showed you that multiple times before, but this has picked the bottom perfectly for the past 3 bear markets. You can see back in 2011, perfectly found support along that pink line. Then again in 2015, found the bottom there. And back in 2018 as well, we found the bottom at the CVDD pink line. So my expectations are that we are going to come down and test that $15,000 level. Because we've done it 3 times before, I think the likelihood of it is, pretty likely that we are going to come down to this CVDD, the pink line at $15,000. Now, like what I said at the start, this is actually the first time we have broken a previous market top, and that was the December 2017 all-time high. We have, as of, I think it was this morning or early on this morning, we did break down below that that previous all-time high from 2017. Now, this is bearish, like Ben said. This is quite bearish for us, but you know, as I said with the CVDD, I don't expect the price to go below $15,400, $300 ish. So that's sort of what I'm looking at for my bottom. I also have a price target here of $15,000 exactly from this head and shoulders pattern that we have broken out of. So that's given me a target of around $15,000. So that's just more indications to me that $15,000 is going to be, you know, a pretty real target.
Question for you, AJ. Give me your percentage chance on potentially seeing a close below this 200 moving average, which obviously we've never had before. Because I know it's Saturday now, so you know what are you thinking the odds are potentially? No one, you know, it's never going to be set in sand. No one knows this, but just off the top of your head, what might you think the percentage chance of an actual close below?
As of right now, there's 80% chance I think we are going to break below. I've been saying that I don't expect it to break below, but you know, because we previously never actually broken below it. You know, we found support every single time. But as of right now, you know, we need something very, very bullish to come out to get back up above $22,400 ish. So I think the likelihood of it, 80% chance we are going to break to the downside, maybe even 90%. You know, I just don't see the price coming back up to there. That's bearish, but if we do break below it, I don't expect to stay below it for much longer, for very long at all, because the only time we've broken below it was actually in COVID, and we only stayed there for a week, and then the next week we actually broke back above it. So I wouldn't expect to stay underneath it for long at all. But yeah, I think there's a pretty high chance we are going to break it.
Yeah, and that's it's kind of unfortunate, that, isn't it?
It is very unfortunate, yeah. Taking a quick look at Ethereum, we have broken this support level that I was talking about. I think it was two shows ago, and as of right now, we are testing this shorter term support level. So if we take a look back here, we actually established this support level back in January 2021. We broke above this level here, and we found support twice along it. So this is a level that we are sort of trying to hold at the moment. As of right now, we are breaking it. We are around $1,000 for Ethereum. If we do break this shorter term support level, I'm expecting to come down, you know, around the $800 level, which is sort of a longer term previous resistance and support level. As we can see back here, we found resistance here, we found support here, we found support here again, and we found more resistance. So this is the next level I'm looking at for Ethereum to sort of come down to, this $800 level. So if we do break this, yes, $800 is my next target for Ethereum. Just quickly, I want to look at some altcoins. Just quickly, I want to warn you that if you are looking at getting into altcoins, I would be very careful, because if there is more downside for Bitcoin, which I do anticipate we are going to see, then there's going to be a lot more downside for all the altcoins. So this level here that I'm hovering over right now, we are currently sat just above it. We have tested it as support, and this is the $26 level approximately for Solana. Previously, we found lots of support along this level. Now, if we break this level, then I think the price is going to come down to between $17 and $12 approximately. So just be careful if you're thinking about getting into some of these altcoins. I think they're going to get hit a lot harder. And then if we break that, I think $5 is the next target. I don't expect it to break this level here though. But yeah, just as a heads up. Another thing is AVAX. We are currently sat at a little bit of a support level at $15. As of right now, we are slightly breaking that level. If we do break that level, I think we're going to come crashing down to $13. Then if we break that, I think $10 approximately is the next target, which is sort of the all-time lows for AVAX. And if we did break that, then it's uncharted territory. So, you know, anything can happen there. But as of right now, just be careful if you are getting into these altcoins, because I think, you know, there is some more downside for Bitcoin, and then most definitely there's going to be a lot more downside for these altcoins. And if we take a look quickly at sort of our trades that we have been putting in. So if you didn't watch one of the previous streams we did, it was about our bear market portfolio strategy.
Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. And, we showed you putting in our buy orders or limit orders for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I talked about let's see if I have it on screen here. I talked about my bear market portfolio strategy here. So I'm starting off with 100% a safe hodl portfolio, Bitcoin, Ethereum, just trying to dollar cost averaging and getting the best prices possible, keeping that USDT little cash reserve as well, just in case we do go lower than I expected, and then we have a little bit more cash to buy the price a little bit lower than we anticipated it to go. Then later on we want to start getting into the medium risk tokens and a high risk, and then we want to get a little bit more into the medium risk, high risk. But as of right now, we're just getting into sort of that safe hodl portfolio, and that's what we've been doing. And 2 of our orders have been hit on Bitcoin. So if we look at the field orders, we have had the order approximately $20,000 that was hit, and $19,000 that was hit. For Ethereum, the $1,000 was hit as well. Now for Ethereum, we have $900 as well, and $800 that we are going to be that we have those buy orders at as well. And then we have for Bitcoin, we have $16,000, $17,000, $18,000. And then the very bottom one is $15,400, which is, as I said earlier, my bottom for Bitcoin, what I think is going to be the bottom for Bitcoin. That does change slightly. As of right now, I'm not seeing much change at all because it is a moving average. So, that may differ. So we may change this price a little bit if that does change. But as of right now, it's sort of sat just below that $15,400 level. So I am just putting it in at $15,400 as of right now. We also have the exact same buy orders being hit on our $500 account. This is our $500 account on the Bybit. Over on Bybit, and Femex, we do have the $5,000 account. So we are dollar cost averaging in as of right now. Our orders are being hit as of right now. So this is great for us in the short term. For Bitcoin, what I'm looking at, if I just make this screen bigger here, we have broken out of this range that we were trading in for a little bit, between the $22,800 level and the $20,000 level approximately. What I'm expecting now is, because we are so very oversold on just a reminder, this is the 1 hour chart, by the way, but we are so very oversold on the indicators. So the stochastic, we're oversold, stochastic RSI, we're oversold, and on the RSI, we are oversold as well. So in the immediate short term, what I'm expecting is a slight pullback, potentially to this blue line here, which is previous support and is now going to act as resistance. That's what I'm expecting in the short term. Then I think if we do get a rejection here, most likely we're going to get a rejection personally, because I think there's more downside. But if we get a rejection here, I will most likely open a short for Bitcoin, see if we can make some gains in the shorter term. This will give us an approximate price target of, if I just take it from this range here, the range top to the range bottom, take it to the breakout point. This would give us an approximate target of around $17,600. So that could be a nice little trade for us if we do see that rejection there. But I want to see that rejection because we are very oversold as of right now. It's indicating to me that we'll see a little bit of a reversal. And then if we get that rejection, then we put the trade in. So that's sort of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin as of right now. We are very, very oversold on all of the indicators on the weekly as well. This is very good news because it indicates a bottom is very close. The RSI, as I said yesterday, we've dipped even lower than we were yesterday. I think someone said, here we go, Mr. New Creation said weekly RSI is at 24.9. That's exactly what it's showing on my charts as well. And, this is the lowest we've ever been on the RSI. So a bottom for me is just very, very near, and I'm expecting a nice reversal in the next coming months, hopefully, if we can establish this bottom. Now, if not, then I'm expecting to see some more consolidation around maybe the $15,000 level if we do get there. But as I said, shorter time frame, I'm looking at a slight reversal, then potential pullback, which will be a nice entry for a trade. So I'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, I'd say hopefully that will just be a double bottom. If we do have, currently at a bottom, kind of have a little push to the upside and then come back down. Hopefully that will serve as like a double bottom, and then have, that will then allow us to kind of push ahead and then just kind of keep that, even if there's one candle, one candle's okay. It still like gives us 2 weeks to have a candle closing just underneath that 200 MA, and then another one opening up underneath, but hopefully closing above, and then we can see even if it's just a bit of consolidation. I do think we are overdue a bit of consolidation for a while. But hopefully we can kind of see a couple closes above.
Yeah. You can see we've had so much price action towards the downside. Since $47,000, we've dropped around 60%, just non-stop price action towards the upside. So this is sort of why I'm thinking maybe a little bit of relief is needed. Consolidation can be that. And if we do consolidate around this, say, $20,000 level, then, we can form some sort of pattern which will potentially take us down to 15,000, or we could just, I could be wrong, and we could just find the bottom around here. But I am still expecting that $15,000 Bitcoin, and it would be nice because then all of my orders will have been filled. Hopefully, we could find the bottom there, and then we can see some upside from there.
Yeah, I mean that's probably going to be a wick if we do see any movement. One thing I want to show, I'm going to quickly just bring up Veracity, as Toronto is mentioning that. Also, just to answer your other little question here, could it take 5 to 10 years to go back? I think because of the length of the cycles, they're usually obviously much shorter. Ash's Joker. Usually the length of the cycles are much shorter than that, so I definitely think 5 to 10 years will be very, very in a very different place. Bitcoin will either be at zero, or it will be easily well over 500,000 in 5 to 10 years. That's my personal opinion. Could be wrong. Hope I'm not. But just the length of cycles are much, much shorter than that. And plus, but within 10 years, we'll probably have another recession because they come every 9 to 10 years or something like that. Well, 8 to 10 is usually when we see like a global massive pullback. So that's my thoughts on that. But anyway, TRA. So I don't know if you did some yourself here, AJ?
I did do a little bit. If you want me to share my screen quickly.
Yeah, because I was just going to highlight, this little bit of resistance here or here. So 0. I'm going to forget the 0, 0, 0s, whatever. 4 or 3, but we're currently at 5 and in a bit of a downward. And that's just me being very quick. Since you mentioned it there, AJ.
So if we just take a quick look at my chart, we are sat at support as of right now, just a shorter term support. This is on the daily. We found support here, and over the past few days we have been finding support here. My expectation is that we will break below this level. So as of right now, I wouldn't be buying any of this. And I've been saying I haven't been buying any altcoins. I think around now 70% of my portfolio, 75% actually, is in Bitcoin, just because I don't want to see my portfolio get hit any harder than it is already. By putting it into Bitcoin, I've saved my portfolio a lot of pain. Yes, it's it doesn't look too good, but I have sort of helped myself by putting it all into Bitcoin. But as of right now, I wouldn't be investing into any altcoins. We have got this resistance level here, so you can see lots of resistance along here. So if we do break this, then there is potential for some nice price action towards the upside. But my anticipation is that we will break this flat yellow line here, and we will see some more downside for this. So personally, I wouldn't be investing into it right now. I would just wait until Bitcoin finds a bottom. And if this is a project that you've been looking into and researching about, and it's a project that you think is going to be, very helpful in the future, have lots of use cases in the future, then without a doubt, yes, then invest.
It's only those fundamental things that are actually going to change anything at the moment. The price action on all, I would argue, every altcoin. There's going to be a couple of exceptions, but I was going to just show this. So it's going to be fundamental news that moves any altcoin up or down. Well, not any that moves up. Down is just the general kind of the market sentiment, but just to kind of show you this, what we have here is the previous level of support. So I can zoom out just very briefly. Whoop, wrong way. I can zoom out and you'll just see like there's pretty much nothing going on. So where we are, if this is what AJ was saying, this level of support here where we are, if we break down through that, what do we then look into? So this is what AJ was looking at. There's not really much going on at all. So we need to look what's below this current level, which is the red dotted line. Well, we kind of have this area here where it's like, 4. So let's say we're at 5, 0.005, and then 4. And then this level here at like 3. But I'm probably going to say this could act as some kind of support. And I'm on the daily. There's only one candle of, kind of indecision, shall we call it, and before we continue that movement to the upside. So this may be a small level of support, but I would probably argue not. And I think we're probably going to see this area. And I've drawn one line, but, obviously this is going to be more of an area. So between 3.5, I would say maybe down to kind of 3.0. That would be where I would be looking to kind of begin accumulating if we do break down, as AJ said, from here. But, a small project like this, I think it's going to follow market sentiment unless there's something, crazy that they're about to launch or something like this that insiders get very excited about and pump the price up.
Yeah, just be very careful, because I don't think Bitcoin has found that bottom yet. So altcoins are going to get hit a lot harder. And whilst we're going on with about these altcoins, let's have a quick look at Phantom. I know a lot of people love the Phantom project, and as of right now, looking on the TA side of it, we are hovering just above this major support level as of right now. Previously, this has sort of been the bottom for Phantom. And if I just get the pen tool up quickly, here you can see, there we go. We can see lots of support. It doesn't seem to want to work. There we go. You can see lots of support previously, back in June 2021. And as of right now, we are hovering just above that level. So for me, looking at this, it's a great buying opportunity, but because Bitcoin hasn't found its bottom as of yet, I am just holding off with buying any more Phantom. And if we do break below the support level, that's uncharted territory for Phantom. So that could be, severely bad. We could see lots more downside. But yeah, as of right now, I'm holding off, but I am looking at getting into Phantom once I'm happy that Bitcoin has found that bottom.
Can I add into this?
Yeah,
so just to kind of add this in here, one of the reasons I was actually a really big fan of Phantom a while back, I say a while back, kind of like March or whatever, because the price has always been relatively low. And so what they had an unbelievable amount of TVL, like a really high TVL, total value locked, almost close to $12 billion, which is absolutely insane considering where they are in market cap. Let's look at, Ethereum is 45 billion. And I know obviously everything has gone down. So when they had, where are we? May. Where am I looking at? Okay, so May they had 10 billion. But Phantom was nowhere near a tenth of the price, but it had a tenth of the total value locked. So in terms of market cap versus total value locked, it actually had a really high ratio, which I liked. It showed me that the price was very low, but lots of people believed in it, and they were then locked up their Phantom, their coins, essentially.
Oh, your sound's gone there a little bit, Ben. I think you need to turn your volume up. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's just me. Okay. I don't know if we can hear Ben.
Okay, I don't know if I'm back. I can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, basically, so the total value locked on Ethereum was 110 billion, and Phantom had a tenth of that total value locked, but the price was so much less than a tenth. It's like 100th of the market cap. So as a ratio, it looked really good, but now obviously, the total value locked has dropped a lot. But I still think it's a good project in the future. Lots of people believing in it.
Yeah, definitely. And just whilst we're on this roll, I'm enjoying this quite a little bit. Let's just have a look at DOT as well. DOT. So this is what I want to be doing in the future. Once Bitcoin has found that bottom, I want to be looking through all of these altcoins, doing some TA on these altcoins, find great buying opportunities. But as I've been saying, as of right now, it's just a little bit hard because I know that the alts are going to get hit much harder if we see Bitcoin drop even further. But let's just give you an understanding of where I think these altcoins are going to go if Bitcoin does drop further. So as of right now, DOT is sat at a very, very strong support level. If we look back in history, we found resistance here, we found support there. So this is a support level as of right now, and it's holding the price of DOT up at around $6 as of right now. If we do break the support level, if Bitcoin does continue to see some more price action towards the downside, then the next level I'm looking at is this bigger support level around around $5, and what's this? This is around $4, between $4 and $5. This is major support previously. Lots of consolidation within this area. Once we did break this area, we came back and found it and used it as support. So this is an area that I'm looking at for DOT to sort of find the bottom at if Bitcoin does see some more downside. So I think for me, that would be a great entry. But as I said, I want to make sure, I want to have that confirmation that Bitcoin has found that bottom first before I enter into any of these altcoins. But that's where I'll be looking at getting into DOT personally.
Yeah. Okay. No, and you know what, guys, I quite enjoy doing this as well. It's good to just go through like random coins, or do some TA on off the cuff. Some of them we will have.
Your sound's gone again, Ben. I don't know what's going on.
I'm back. I don't know what happened there, but anyway. So if you guys enjoy this, make sure you smash the like button, because then we're able to actually see whether we should just be going through coins ad hoc, or just leave your comments down below, because it's really good for us to see if we should be just dropping in random coins, etc. And obviously, like we said, once we get into this altcoin season, we will show you where we have our buy orders, because then you're able to do the same. And the major problem with trading is most people are busy all of the time. Obviously we go to work, we're stuck in an office. You don't know exactly the price all the time. So if you want us to just kind of tell you the areas that we're looking for and where we're getting in, you can obviously follow us, pre-program those again, and then join us on our portfolio.
Yeah, someone wants Atom. Have a quick look at that. Now, this is, so I've actually got a price target for this. My price target is around $4.68 at this yellow line here, because previously found lots of support along that level and lots of resistance along that level as well. So that's where I'm looking at the price coming. If we do break that level, then I think there is going to be a lot more downside for Atom. I think, we're going to come all the way down, because there's not much support here. This is a range that we were, previously trading within, between the approximately, $2 level and the $4.66 level. So this was just where we were ranging between. So I think if we do break this level here, there's a pretty high chance we'd come all the way down to the support level at around $2. And for me, that's a great buying opportunity as well. But as I said, we just need to make sure that that Bitcoin has that confirmation of the bottom before I enter into this. And then, this, as I said, would be a great buying opportunity. If Bitcoin can bottom out and we're still sort of in this area, or we break above this support area, that's great buying opportunities. Because previously, when we've entered this area here and we've actually broken above it, we have found support at the very top of this support level, and then we actually have never come back down to this price again. So personally, for me, great buying opportunity. But yeah, my shorter term target is around $4.70 approximately. So just keep your eye out for that.
Very good. Okay. And then we also have a request about Solana. So
Solana, I'll mention that quickly. I did cover it a little bit at the start, but as of right now, we're at a major support level. You can see previously so much support along this level. We are hovering just above that level as of right now. If we do break this level, if Bitcoin, continues to see price action towards the downside, then my next level that I'm looking at is between the $17 level and the $12 level. You can see that we have had some consolidation and some resistance at this level previously. Then if we break that, then $5 is what I'm looking at, which is the previous high back in September 2020.
No, don't say that. Sorry, not allowed. That's pain to my ears. I'm not
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah, there just isn't any support along the area.
Nope.
You could say there's
Not
slight
taking it.
support at $8, but yeah. But hopefully Bitcoin can find that support. Find that bottom when when Solana gets into this area here, and then we won't break below this level. So that's what I'm looking at as of right now. But we are at major support right now between that $23 level and $27 level approximately. So if we break this, then there's more downside. But if we can hold this, then I think that'll be great news for Solana.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's a bit of a waiting game. I think we should begin putting in some orders. If it is that you're looking to accumulate at these levels, I'd begin putting in those orders. If they get triggered, fantastic. If they don't, then obviously we can kind of look to catch the ideal price. It's not a complete end of the world if you don't get it on the way down. You can get it on the way back up as well. And that's why dollar cost averaging in is probably the best idea. Like buying now is not a massive issue, if it keeps dropping down, because you can just keep adding more in as you go lower and lower. But that's the issue with if you just drop everything all in one go, because everyone thinks I found the bottom, and then they get annoyed because it keeps you buy the dip. Keeps dipping.
Yeah, you can never perfectly predict the bottom, and that's why with our portfolios that I've shown you previously, that's why I'm keeping a little bit of a cash reserve as well, because there is that possibility that the price can go lower than you anticipate it to. So having that cash just means that you can buy Bitcoin cheaper than you expected and bring that average price down even further. But if we don't break lower than what we expect, then there is a chance that we can use that cash reserve to put into Bitcoin or any altcoins when we break resistance. That's another way to trade. Instead of dollar cost averaging, you can trade when breaking resistance. So we've got that cash reserve just as sort of safety net. If we do come lower than we anticipate, then we can bring that average price down.
Yep. There you go. All right, well, guys, look, that's everything from us. Hope you had a good time watching. We'll be back tomorrow just to give you an overview, probably go through our portfolio, let you know exactly what orders have been filled from our portfolio. And then also, if there's any juicy news that you need to know about, we'll be here. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you press that like button. It really helps us out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. That's where most of our content comes out. And we can, we keep everybody updated on there. Thanks very much. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.